Hi everyone, and in this video I'm going to show you how to do a rough cut for your edit. And it kind of surprises me whether I have students in Multimedia 1, which is the first production class, or even in the capstone, most students don't know what a rough cut is. Simply put, a rough cut is a tentative arrangement of your shots. It's a first draft. It's start to finish how you see your story going down. And when you look at a rough cut, you're not really looking at it. You're really listening to it to see if it makes sense. So if you have to change any clips around or redo anything, you haven't really invested a huge amount of work into your project. So this is something that if you have to show it to someone, maybe your professor, if they can listen to it and see if your story makes sense, and then they can go in and you can look at it and they can look at it, and then you could do all your fine tuning. So the project I have that we're going to work on today, it's called the 12 Miles of Christmas. It's a 12-mile training run put on by Runners Depot. And what they do is they do it before Christmas. They do a Christmas Eve day really early in the morning, and you run 12 miles as a training run. But instead of paying money to enter this, you donate a toy to Joe DiMaggio's Children's Hospital. So the first thing I'm going to do here is you can see I have all my bins already organized. The more work you do in the beginning before you sit down and edit, go through all your clips, catalog them, put them in folders, have everything organized, maybe rename a clip. This is the one I want to use when Renee is talking. Whatever you want to put, the easier it will make your workflow when you sit down and edit. Then you're just going right to clips instead of looking at your clips as if you're doing it for the first time. That's the difference between someone who's really good at this and someone who's great at this. So as you can see here, I have all my different bins. So the first one, I'm going to go into Standups, and I'm going to go into the one that I've already renamed it. It says Open. I'm going to double click on it, and there's Gabby. And I've already marked in and marked out for the purposes of getting through this video a little bit quicker. Drag the clip down. And Gabby says,
"Hey, what are you doing this Christmas Eve? Many of you guys are running errands, but here at Runners Depot, everyone's running, I don't know, maybe 12 miles?
Now I'm going to go ahead and put in a voiceover. And how do I know I'm going to put in a voiceover? Because as I said, I already went through all my copy and I game planned and I knew exactly what I wanted to do. So we're going to go ahead to voiceover 1. And again, I renamed all these clips. I've already marked in and marked out, and you can see she read this on camera. Best thing to do is to do all your stand-ups and voiceovers and interviews in the same place if possible, so all your audio sounds consistent. So instead of just bringing this clip down, I'm only going to bring the audio down. So I'm going to grab this waveform here. This is drag audio only. Drag it down. Drop it in.
Now in their 5th year, the 12 Miles of Christmas was the brainchild of Runners Depot's founding owner, Renee Grant.
Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to Renee, and we're going to go to her interviews. And again, I renamed the ones I wanted to use. So we're going to go to Renee, and actually we're going to go to Renee too. And I'll go ahead and drag her clip down.
The 12 Miles of Christmas was just developed as a fun run, kind of a brainstorming idea to get people together for a Christmas Eve morning, to get out and have fun and run before their holiday meal. And it's just grown in popularity every year.
Okay, so Renee's in there. Now we'll go ahead and go back to my next voiceover, voiceover 2. I'm going to drop this in, just grabbing the audio.
After 2 very successful years, Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital entered into the equation.
So then we'll go back to Renee in our next interview as Renee talks about Joe DiMaggio's Children's Hospital.
We wanted to do something a little different and give back to the community. And Joe DiMaggio has been a sponsor of ours for other events. So we thought, what a great idea to have people bring a toy in exchange for their shirt instead of just coming to run. And from that point on, the race or the training run is not really a race. People come out in droves and love to bring multiple toys, and it's just been a really great idea. And kids at Joe DiMaggio love it.
Now, you noticed when she was doing her interview, first she said it's a race, and then she corrected herself. It's not really a race, it's a run. Well, we don't really need that in there. We can get rid of her mistake. So what I'm going to do here on the timeline is we're going to go back.
A toy in exchange for their shirt instead of just coming to run. And from that point on,
Coming for a run.
run.
I'm going to mark in here.
And from that point on, the race or the training run is not really a race. People come out.
And then we'll go to people come out in droves.
It's not really a race. People come out. Run. It's not really a race. People.
Going to mark out. And then I'm going to go ahead and extract.
In exchange for their shirt, instead of just coming to run, people come out in droves and love to bring multiple toys, and it's just been a really great idea. And kids at Joe DiMaggio love it.
Okay, so you can see in the video here we have a jump cut. Okay, which we will eventually cover up with some, which will eventually cover up with B-roll, the jump cut. But again, we're not concerned about what this looks like at this point. We're just listening to this video to make sure that the story makes sense. So there was no real reason to put in her making the mistake of correcting herself. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put in an interview, and we're going to go ahead and grab Lucy over here. And again, I've marked in and marked out on Lucy. Drag her down.
In droves and love to bring multiple toys, and it's just been a really great idea. And kids at Joe DiMaggio love it.
What's really special about the 12 Miles of Christmas is it's a great time to get together with the entire running community. Friends, people you haven't seen, that regardless whether you run fast, whether you run slow, it's just a great opportunity to be out and then have a little party afterwards.
So obviously Lucy is one of the participants. So now I'm going to go back to my next voiceover. And again, not doing any of this on the fly. This is all calculated. I've already done all the legwork in here. Bring down Gabby's audio.
But like all great things, there is a price to pay for success.
Which sets up my next interview with Renee. Drag her interview down. And again, we're doing this obviously quick, and because I've done all this preparation before I sat down to edit.
It's kind of a catch-22. You know, you love the fact that everyone is coming out and supporting everything, but at the same time, it gets to be where it's logistically tough, and you don't want to upset anyone in the community and keep people safe. So we'll come up with some ideas for next year. Maybe think about moving it to a park or somewhere a little bit more open, but we'll brainstorm some ideas and try to keep it going. Everybody loves it.
Now, again, she says everybody loves it, but she had said that earlier about the kids love it, so I think I'm going to trim that over here.
And try to keep it going. And try to keep it going.
And then I'm going to go ahead and just trim this back over here. And then that's my story. And now all I have to do is put in my stand-up, my closing stand-up. Close.
And as an added bonus, every runner will receive a long sleeve Brooks t-shirt just for participating in the run for those cold Florida nights. For Multimedia Production, this is Gabby Arzola.
So there is my story, start to finish as a rough cut. So now what I would do is I would go back, I would listen to the whole thing, make sure that it makes sense. Once I've got it in the order that I want, my next step is I would start tightening up the edits. Then I would put in the B-roll probably next. After I put in my B-roll, then I might do some color correction. Then I would go in and I might I'll adjust the audio. I would drop in the lower thirds, but I'm doing each particular activity step by step instead of working on one small little piece at a time. Because imagine you're putting in your stand-up here and you're working on your stand-up and you're doing all your correcting over here. You're dropping in your lower third, you're adjusting the audio. And then the person you show it to you, like maybe your professor, says they don't really like it. You've wasted all the time. So that's why you do a rough cut first. You always want to do a rough cut just to listen to it, make sure it makes sense. And then once it makes sense to you, then you go in and do all your fine tuning. So I'll probably go into a little bit more detail when I show you guys in class. But until next time, this is Jay Sandhouse saying so long from the Sunshine State.